Happy Monday. I'm doing a video blog today instead of a written blog, which was my original intention. And the reason being is because I was inspired by a friend of mine, Tim King. This is a shout out to you. He's doing a 30-day video blog challenge. So instead of doing a written blog, I decided, in honor of Tim and what he's doing, I'm going to do a video blog today. So today's video is going to be about manifesting your desires and deliberately actually controlling your experience. Now, over the last few years, I've been studying like a madman. How do we create? How do humans create the things that we create? How do we create the experiences that we experience? I've been studying it lately, and over this weekend, I had an epiphany, a breakthrough, if you will, and I'm going to share it with you today. So the first thing that needs to be understood is that the universe is made of energy. What do I mean by that? Well, this cup, myself, everything behind me in this room is all made of the same thing. And everything that you're experiencing is all made of the same thing. Well, what is that thing? Matter, right? And what is matter? Atoms. We've all learned this in elementary school. Atoms, protons, neutrons, and electrons spinning around in space. It's energy. Now, the reason why I'm discussing this energy is because it's important to how we manifest what we experience. And the reason being is it all starts with what we think and what we feel. What we think and what we feel is broadcasted out into the universe. Some people call the universe God. Some people call it source. It really doesn't matter. It's all the same shit. Okay? So our thoughts and our feelings are broadcasted out into the universe, pretty much asking the universe, this is what we want to experience. Before I go into why that's important, one thing that you also need to understand is how your thoughts and feelings are connected, and those thoughts and feelings actually also broadcast an energy just as a radio station does. An energy that go out into the universe, and let me give you an example of how it works so you can really grasp it. Here's an example that most people have encountered before in their life. The example is when you're thinking of somebody and then all of a sudden they call you, right? That's an example of how the universe works. You're thinking of that individual, broadcasting it out to the universe, and then next thing you know, you get a phone call from them. That's the universe responding to your desire. Another example is when you go to a party, and at that party, as soon as you walk in the door without anyone even saying anything to you, you're either feeling, the party is jumping, everyone's happy, or you're feeling, wow, doesn't seem like everyone's having a good time at this party. But either way, you're going to get a feeling from walking in that room. The other thing that is really important to understand is how your thoughts create feelings, right? So when you think of an experience that you've had in the past that was a really good experience, what kind of feeling does it give you? Usually it gives you feelings of happiness, of feeling light, right? And same goes for a negative experience. When you think about something that was a bad experience for you, what kind of feeling does that create when you're thinking about it? Well, that gives you a gauge, an example of how you can control how you're feeling at any given moment, right? You can do this at any moment. So think of something that you really like a food or whatnot, and it's going to create a certain feeling for you. Really be conscious of that, okay? So now that you understand that the universe is made of energy, and our thoughts are connected to feelings, and those thoughts and feelings actually broadcast a certain energy out into the universe, the next step is to understand how these feelings broadcasted into the universe actually create the experiences you have in your life. So now the first step of actually manifesting your experiences begin with your desires. Now, the reason why you want to understand what your desire is and be clear of what your desire is because that desire is going to bring a certain thought to you. Whatever you're thinking, I want a new car, I want love, I want health, those thoughts and the feelings that they're connected to are going to be broadcasted out into the universe and telling the universe, this is exactly what I want to experience. Once you are clear on what your desire is, the next step is then to gauge what your feelings are. Because your feelings will tell you whether you're getting closer to what it is that you want to experience or are moving away from it. Now let me give you an example of why it's important to be conscious of what you're feeling when it comes to manifesting your desires and what you want to experience. Let's use a new car as one of your desires, right? Now, when you visualize and you think about what it's like to have a new car, it gives you good feelings of confidence, maybe, of happiness, whatever. But if all you're thinking about is what it feels like to not have that vehicle and the lack of having a new vehicle, it usually is going to create feelings that aren't so good. You know, you're thinking about how shitty your car is or whatnot. What kind of feeling is that going to create in you? A negative, bad feeling. So that's a good example, because when you're thinking about the desire of having a new car and you're visualizing only in your thoughts and your images in your mind of what it's like to have that new car, you're usually going to have those good feelings, right? And those feelings are broadcasting out to the universe what it is that you want. And what's going to manifest out of that is the new car. But if you're thinking about the things that you lack from not having that car, you're putting a negative vibration out into the universe, telling the universe, this is what I don't want. And the universe doesn't know the difference between the two. It's just going to respond to whatever you're feeling and whatever you're thinking. This is a connection that I made this weekend that was really profound for me, because, you know, we've all heard of The Secret and the law of attraction and what positive thinking brings. But I think the point that most people are missing is that it's just not all about positive thinking itself. Because you can be thinking of the most positive things in the world, but if you're feeling bad and you're not connecting that good thought to a good feeling, then you're still going to be vibrating that negative feeling out into the universe. And that's why you continue to experience the lack, and you start to not bring towards you what it is that you actually desire. And people that aren't, believers of the law of attraction probably don't believe it, because they don't understand that fact. That you have to have the feeling that's connected to the thought and connect with that and vibrate that out into the universe in order to really manifest what it is that you want. Now, what's really amazing is that if the universe responds and creates your experiences based off of what you're feeling and what you're thinking, well, more of what you're feeling, the cool thing is that you can always deliberately control how you're feeling. And it goes back to what I was talking about before. It's really easy. You could just think of something, a past experience that you've had that was a really good experience, and really connect to the feeling and remember what it felt like when you were going through that experience. You can do that at any given moment, right now. But also, the same is also true when you're thinking of something negative and you have thoughts of negativity. It's going to create a certain feeling in you. And when you're thinking whatever you're thinking, your thoughts are connected to feelings. Right? So if you can gauge how you're feeling, that's going to tell you what you're vibrating out to the universe, and in turn, it's going to tell you exactly what you're going to be manifesting into your experience. One of the key things to remember is when it comes to manifesting what you want to experience in your life, be very, very conscious and focused on what you do want and not what you don't want. Right? So if you want love, focus on the love and the feeling of love. But most people get it wrong when they're thinking, well, I want love, but they're focusing on the lack of not having it, right? What it feels like to not have love. And what it does is it creates more of that experience, because that's what the universe is going to respond to every single time. Right? And remember, this is not something that only special people have. This is something, an ability that every single person has. Now, whether you do it or not is going to be based on your connection to the universe. And how you determine your connection to the universe is based off how you feel. If you're feeling good, you're going to manifest good experiences. If you're feeling bad, you're going to manifest bad experiences in your life. It happens to all of us. And whether we are conscious of it or not, we're actually always constantly creating our experiences, whether we like them or not. It's always happening. At every moment, we are in control of that. So don't play the victim and think that, everything around you just happens for, you're out of control of it. You don't control it, because that's not true. It's all controlled based off of what you're thinking, and more importantly, what you're feeling. So those feelings are going to create your experiences, and everyone has feelings, right? So, and everyone has the ability to control how they feel. So once you lose control of that, you're going to lose control of your experience. Once you gain control of that, you're going to deliberately be able to control what you experience in your life. How beautiful is that, right? So go out there and create some really good experiences, and tell me how it works for you. Practice it. See how it works. Check back with me. I want to know. I want to know how this works for you, because now that I've had this epiphany and really connected a lot of things that have seemed like a puzzle to me, I'm really, really excited about the things that I'm working on now and bringing them into this world and bringing them into my experience and your experience as well, because I get to share it with you. All right? So have a good day. Enjoy yourself. Practice, practice, practice. And let's talk about it.